I get it. There's a part of you that is ready to grow your sales. You want to serve more people with your products and services. You want to make more money. You want to have more time and freedom and flexibility in your business and your life. And you understand that requires you to sell more. However, when you think about the word sales, what comes to your mind is being sleazy, being slimy, being rude, being manipulative, trying to convince people to buy something they don't want to buy, having to fit yourself into a certain mold and sound a certain way and talk at a certain pace, a fast pace that is, and something that is not you. You have to be inauthentic to achieve what you desire to have, what God desires for you. And so there's a conflict. I remember feeling this exact way where I wanted to grow my sales, but I didn't want to do what I saw was happening out in the marketplace, where people who were making multi-seven figures were saying needed to be done to grow your sales. And I remember feeling uncomfortable, feeling that I had to twist myself to be someone who I wasn't, to go against my values. And I thought, well, this is all I'm seeing out there. So this is, I guess, what I need to do. And so I remember leading a teleseminar back in the days when we did teleseminars, and there was about 30 people, actually probably over 30 people on, and they were loving everything that I was teaching and responding and interacting, and the Q&A had ended. And this is the time, this is the opportunity for me to present the offer, for me to pitch. And because the minute I thought about that, I felt uncomfortable. I felt uneasy. I felt inauthentic. I felt like I had to be someone who I wasn't. And I had actually felt this way before, because prior to leading the teleseminar, I'd practiced what I was going to teach, but I avoided practicing the sales part because, again, it was something that I didn't want to be. I didn't want to show up inauthentically. I didn't want to show up as someone other than myself. And I remember quickly spending less than 3 minutes inviting people who wanted to learn more, who wanted to take a deeper dive, to follow up with me. And they were waiting. You could feel the weight of them waiting for me to respond, to lead them into the next steps and give them clear directions and lead them in what exactly they need to do. And I just stumbled and said it. And I remember one person responded, came through my contact, and that individual ended up enrolling in one of my $10,000 programs. But I also remember feeling disappointed. I mean, I was excited to work with her, and we went on to really produce great results. I believe she either 3x or 4x'd her coaching investment. But I remember feeling like, wow, I missed something. I could feel that they were waiting for me, but I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to be someone I wasn't. Because in my mind, sales was bad. Sales was something you did to someone. And I remember sharing it to my virtual assistant at the time, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's clear that you feel uncomfortable about sales. You rarely pitch." And I remember feeling embarrassed, like, "Oh, does everyone know this? Is it that obvious that I feel uncomfortable about it?" And then I discovered through Holy Spirit that I had a fear, not of only being someone that I'm not, of rejection. And so I realized two things were going on. That one, I had wrong thinking about sales. I was believing a lie about sales, that sales is bad. And I was also dealing with a fear of rejection. So let me know in the comments if any of what I just shared with you can relate to. feeling that sales is bad, is sleazy, is slimy, is rude, is manipulative, is something that you do to someone, and a fear of hearing no. Well, if you have commented below or you're shaking your head, yes, you can identify with that. Well, you are at the right video at the right time, because I am going to help you have right thinking about sales, the right thinking about sales. And it's the right thinking about sales. It's because it's the way God thinks about sales. And we know God is truth. We also know that God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts, that they are higher. And so when you have wrong thinking about sales, when you believe that sales is bad and sales is something that you're doing to someone, when in fact, sales is serving. Selling is serving. Write that down in the comments. Selling is serving. Write that down in your notes. And you have right thinking, then things begin to change. Let's talk about the right thinking. And then I'm going to tell you how I got over my fear of rejection, my fear of hearing no, in a really fun and easy way with playing a game that you already have everything that you need to play. So what I began to understand is that selling is not something that you do to someone. Selling is something that you do for someone. And that selling, again, is serving. Well, where did I learn that? Well, we can go straight to the Word of God, Proverbs 11:26. And it says, "They curse those who hoard their grain, but pray blessings on those who sell it." They curse those who hoard their grain. Their grain, of course, for us is our expertise, is our gifts, is our knowledge, is our experience, is our insight, is all of the things that we have mastered, our mastery, the way in which you help clients solve problems quicker, faster, easier than they could clients could on their own. And so when you hoard your grain, when you are afraid to share a way in which people could have that grain and sell that grain, then they're cursing. Curses are on you. But when you begin to sell it, when you present an offer, an opportunity for people to have that grain, then there's blessings. See, selling is not something you do to someone. It's something you do for someone. Think of a time in which you bought a product or a service that solved a problem that you were struggling with for years, if not decades. A problem that you had been carrying unnecessarily, a burden that you were carrying unnecessarily, because you as a leader, as a high achiever, you figured it out. You made a way, but didn't realize the weight of that. I mean, I can think of just recently something that proved its value over and over again, and it's SOPs. I remember the VA that I have now, that's another story for another day, that I partnered with God to hire. And when she came on, she started doing SOPs, and I'm like, okay, it's that thing, as business owners, we know we need, but we don't want to spend money on. We just figure like it's a waste of money until we need it, and then we wish we had it. And so she was developing SOPs, and she's like, I develop SOPs no matter what. And I got on board with it, but I really got on board recently when there were some tasks that needed to get done without me. And I was able to effectively just share the task on a very high level. And the SOPs helped the team member get them done in the way that we've been getting them done. It was like, oh my gosh, that was such a good investment of money. I'm just taking back. I want you to think about that product or that service that lifted a huge burden off of you. And you realize the person who sold it to you, they did something for you. They didn't do something to you. They removed something that seemed a mountain that you could not overcome, and they did it easier, faster, and quicker. And that's what you do for your clients. But you have to understand that selling is serving. Selling is not something you do to someone, it's something you do for someone. So when you're doing something for someone, when you're serving them, rude and icky and salesy and manipulative, that's not in the equation. You are serving them. You are helping them overcome a challenge, achieve a result, experience a transformation, or experience pleasure than they couldn't do on their own. And so once I began to adopt that belief and stop believing the lies that selling is bad, things began to change. Then I no longer had that anxiety when I could present an opportunity to an ideal prospect. When I was speaking and could present an opportunity for people to take a deeper dive, because I understood that I was serving. And for those who had the problem that I could solve, I was a blessing to them. I was an answered prayer to them. And so that changed almost everything. And we still had to overcome the fear of rejection. You know, at first I didn't even realize I had that fear. But isn't that true for most things, like that are happening on an unconscious level? And it takes our awareness to see where we're getting in our own way. So not only could you thinking sales is a bad thing stopping you from growing your business, stopping you from being more bold, being more authentic, being less passive, less vague, but your fear of hearing no. And we know that the word says that love casts out all fear, because fear is a torment. I don't know about you, but I remember feeling a torment in my mind when in the anxiety that when I was afraid of getting no. It was like, I'm afraid of people unsubscribing when I'm in a launch. I'm afraid from people's, some form of rejection, when in fact, those who are unsubscribing are letting me know that I'm not an ideal client. They're not an ideal client. So they're doing both of us a favor. So how did I overcome the fear of rejection? Well, the Lord introduced me to a game called the 100 No game. And I like to have fun. I like to play. And he said, the only way for you to get over this fear of rejection is to stop taking it personal. Because when a client says no, it's not personal. They could be saying no because that offer is not solving their number one problem. They could be saying no because you haven't effectively communicated the value of your offer. They could be saying no because now's not a right time. There's many reasons why people say no, and why we say no to offers that we see every day, but it's not personal. And let's make sure that they're not saying no because we're not communicating the value of our offer. We're not effectively communicating the value of expertise. That's for another video. So, how I got over the fear of rejection is God revealed this to me, right? And as I yielded to God and played this game, things again shifted. And so the game was to collect 100 no's. That I won when I got a no. And so I began to have more sales conversations. And the more sales conversations I had, the more I was able to perfect communicating my offer, beginning to understand the needs of my ideal prospect. And as I got these no's, I was really like going for it, because to win this 100 no game, you had to have no's. And so I was presenting offers, presenting opportunities for people to have sales conversations. And it was giving me practice. And I was getting no's, and two things happened. Not only did I stop taking no's personal, I made more money. Like, best game ever. The best game ever. I get better at presenting my offer. I got better at selling my services. And I was released from the fear of rejection. I stopped taking no personal. So this opened up a whole world for me. And I want to open up this same world for you too. Imagine no longer having wrong thinking about sales. Imagine that your thoughts about sales are aligned with God's thoughts. Because not only is selling serving, selling is kingdom. And just imagine how amazing it will be that you have the thinking about sales the way that God thinks about sales. That means that you are thinking abundantly, because we know that John 10:10 says that God came to give us life and life more abundantly. So if he came to give us life more abundantly, and we know that he operates from more than enough, that when we are thinking about sales from his perspective, we're thinking from abundant perspective. And when we are not thinking about sales from his perspective, we're thinking from a poverty perspective. Well, if this is something that you're interested in doing, I'm going to invite you to a 5-day transformation that's going to help you not only think about sales differently, but it's going to help you grow your sales. And that's my 5-day challenge, the Grow Your Sales Challenge. That's happening April 22nd. Give me 5 days, 1 or 2 hours each of those days, depending on the ticket level that works best for you. And I'm going to help you think about sales the way that God thinks about sales, so that you are more comfortable being your authentic self and selling and serving those who are praying blessings to you. I'm going to help you understand how to be found by people who are searching for your offers. So I'm talking about visibility secrets. Then we're going to move to how you can multiply your offers. And I'm going to share, multiply your profits. And I'm going to be talking about selling higher ticket offers. This is a game changer. We're also going to be talking about closing secrets and how you can, like I help my clients and I do myself, have people say yes to your 10,000, 15,000, 12,000, 25,000 plus offers in one sales call. So if this is of interest in you, go to the description and sign up to join the challenge so that you stop believing the lies about sales. So you're no longer in torment with the fear of rejection, or no longer in torment of not owning your value, and understanding that you can and should be profiting off of what you mastered. It is going to be life-changing. So if you're going to be joining me in the challenge, put in the comments below transform, and I can't wait to see you there. Make sure to like and share this video with those who you know need to share this video. Listen, when you like it, when you comment, when you subscribe, if you haven't already done so, and share the video, this helps YouTube do what YouTube does best and share this with more of us, those of us who are Christ-centered, who are serious about growing our sales while glorifying God and expanding his kingdom. It shares this video with more people like us, right? So go ahead and do that. And then I will see you in the challenge. Until then, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when we release a new video. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Go to altheamcintyre.com to get your free training on the 7 biggest sales mistakes that keep you from 7 figures.